on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Basketball in March.
The update presented by the Sportscast.
Sportscast, March 8th, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels, YouTube, Twitch, Apple Podcasts, and X. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a rating and review. It will help us out tremendously. We're also on online radio. Visit our website, thesportscast.net, and also get our app, The Sportscast for iOS. And welcome to our show. What a whole lot of news. Yes, the NBA is going on. There's things going on. We're heading towards the playoffs, but the NFL always has news. People say, no, it's going to die off after the Super Bowl. No. In my experience, it only dies off around July, maybe June, but it's hot right now. Anyways, join us from the Bay Area, a man that saw the renderings in Las Vegas for the Oakland A's, Ray Sherrod.
Yo,
welcome back to the Sportscast.
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Good to be here on the Sportscast.
Ray, we got a lot to talk about. How is the weather in the Bay Area? It's getting warmer here in Florida. I don't know if it gets warm in March.
It is crazy because I uploaded a clip of it just storming, raining. There was even ice. I can hear the ice coming down my chimney. But today it is about 58, and it's mostly sunny. Nice day today. Not bad in San Francisco. But before we get into the news, let's have a word from our sponsors. In the rhythm of life, every tick of the clock holds a story. But how do we make every moment count? Meet Start Time, the simplest way to log, track, and optimize your time right at your fingertips. Start Time is designed for simplicity. With just a tap, begin logging any activity. And when you're done, hit stop. It's that easy. Wherever you are, Start Time knows. Our location detection feature automatically tags your logs, giving context to every second spent. Keep your day in perspective with a log tab. Every task, every moment, neatly organized and easy to review. Log, track, and optimize your time with a tap. Ready to make every moment count? Start with Start Time. Available now for iOS. There you have it. Start Time. You get it for the iOS App Store. Well, the biggest news this morning, I know we are going to go into the Curry NBA situation, but a guy named Russell Wilson is a free agent. The Broncos this week released they're not going to have him back in Denver, which he loved there, apparently. He had permission to speak to other teams, and he did not lose sleep over it. He went to New York Giants. He's in Pittsburgh today. Ray, Russell Wilson, once a Seattle Seahawk, you know him from the NFC West. You played him almost every year. Yeah, he broke my heart a couple of times too.
Exactly. Now he's looking for a new team. The Broncos are going to pay him $37 million. And I mean, he's guaranteed $37 million. Now he's looking for a team. He has New York, and he has Pittsburgh right now. What's going to happen? What are your thoughts over this whole story with Russell Wilson's journey?
Well, he had flashes last year, but of the old Russell Wilson. But let's be honest, the days of the Legion of Boom, him with Lockett and him with Decaf, those days are gone. Denver, unless they get him some players, I mean, Judy, that's really honestly his main target. He needs players. $37 million, though, is nothing to sneeze at. But if he could get that matched or more in Steelers or New York, hey, I'd go for it. New York is a big market. It's kind of weird that
New York didn't lock him up, and he's going to see the Steelers. But I guess he wants to have options. But dude, I would go to the New York market. That's a big market to go to, and a lot of people, a lot of eyes on you, and I know his wife would love that area.
New York Giants. Let's look at each team. Where are their quarterback scenarios here? The New York Giants have Daniel Jones. He's had neck injuries throughout ever since he came with the Giants. They had DeVito as a quarterback backup. Not much to say there. Obviously, probably the main issue every Giant fan will say is the O-line. But if you're the New York Giants and you had a choice between Russell Wilson and Jones, how would that look like? What is the thinking process behind all that?
Experience. He's got championship. He won Super Bowl. You can't deny that. He's been an MVP. I mean, he's been the man. He's been there. And you never know. Maybe he could do something in New York. Maybe he could have chemistry with somebody. Maybe he could click with somebody and he could go back to the old days. But I'm always going to go, you want a winning hand. So I'm sorry. You saw what, Jones could do. And honestly, it's not that much.
It's not much.
It's not nothing, really. Nothing.
Yeah. and their tight end, he's about to retire. I forgot his name. I'm not prepared. But right. I'll definitely look it up. But the Giants, they're going to lose Barkley, by the way. So Russell Wilson will not be, if he signs with the Giants, he would not have Barkley, most likely. I think the scenario in New York is good for him off the field, like you were saying. On the field, I don't expect him to win the NFC East because you got the Eagles. You got the Commanders, which is not a team to worry about. And, of course, you got the Cowboys, where you do got to worry about it a little bit sometimes. But the NFC East is not as wide open, right? It's still the Eagles no matter what.
Right. But, hey, you never know. Eagles was riding high, number one, and then they fell off towards the end.
True.
Injuries can happen. A lot of things can happen. Contracts, people can hold out. A lot of things can happen before the season and during the season. But the thing about it is that Russell Wilson he can still play, and he's a veteran. And I honestly think he could do a lot better than Jones. Plus, he can still run. And my only thing is the injuries. He's had a thumb issue. He's been hit. He's been hurt. Father time, folks. Look, I turned 51 Monday, man. Let me tell you something. Father time does come. All right, and you slow down as you get older.
Let's look at Pittsburgh Steelers. Ray, another team that they had. Pickett was supposedly the franchise quarterback. Kenny Pickett. They do got Mason Rudolph, who's entering free agency, so he might not come back. Situation there. Pittsburgh was the first team interested. Would that be a good place for Mr. Russell Wilson?
No.
And why?
Because I think honestly, I wish Pickett would just stay where he's at because he has a rapport with Pickett, the receiver. I think it's a team. He's still young. It's still a team. You got, the problem is people just don't know how to wait. You got to get pieces and build a team. If you just get rid of somebody and bring somebody in, then you have to start all over and everything. You need to build it up. And this guy is good. He is really good. That's why you do these drafts and get people. That's why you bring these veterans in. You want to get players around him to make him better. I just think if he goes to Pittsburgh, I think he's going to run into the same thing he had over there in Denver. And it's just going to be, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't think the Steelers is where it's at. Even though the Rooney family is awesome. Right. But hey, what's going on, Joe? Wilson to New England. LOL. You know what? Hey, Boston.
That
I
could
would.
happen.
Hey, Joe, let me tell you something, Joe. Hey, Wilson to Boston. I would. Yeah,
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 because I
but
don't
I
think Mac
think
Jones is doing well there.
yeah, I can see that. That'd be a cool spot. But right now, if it's between the Steelers and New York, I go with New York. And then Pittsburgh, dude, Wilson's Hollywood, man. Him and his wife, man, they are A-listers. They don't want to be hanging out. I've been to Pittsburgh. No offense, Pittsburgh, but it's
Pittsburgh's not much to
cold.
do there.
Come on, New York, Brooklyn, and the Bronx, and you got you see you're gonna see him at the basketball. You're gonna see him at the Barclays Stadium on the court. I mean, come on, dude. It's Wilson.
Yeah, we'll see. And
Nice.
something that the Jersey Boys Sports Talk they talk about a lot that New York has the media market, as Ray and I have been talking about today. And you look at players like Michael Strahan. I think he had a quote, I believe,
Yes.
that he said New York made him happen after his career. He has 3 shows?
Yeah.
He's on?
Yep.
I'm not saying Russell Wilson's going to have 3 or 5 shows, but I'm saying
the market.
Russell Wilson likes the spotlight. It's just what
he's
like, doesn't he?
He also think of just outside commercial wise, him representing certain brands and stuff. He could market himself very easily in New York. Yeah.
I don't see why not. Those New York teams need help, by the way. They've been struggling a lot.
You need something. New York needs something, man. I mean, I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to do something, and then he got hurt.
It's the field.
Yeah,
that life.
Exactly.
Well, anyways, free agency starts on Monday, Ray. So we won't see anything official. He might sign on Monday. A lot of different players are out there, so we'll see what happens. Before we get to basketball, there is one other story that we need to talk about, which you saw in my notes. The 49ers got a new defensive coordinator and an assistant coach, Brandon Staley. Their defensive coordinator is Nick Harrison, which I guess Ray is very familiar with because he was a former he was a former pass game specialist and Eccles coach. I heard it growing there. Is it because of Brandon Staley or Sorensen?
I'm be honest. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. If I'm a true believer, if it's not broken, don't fix it. We had an awesome defense. You fired a coordinator we got to the Super Bowl.
You're pro Wilkes, aren't you?
Totally. Yes.
He was a scapegoat, I thought.
And you know what? When you put the blame on certain people and say, well, we got to blame somebody, let's blame him. I'm telling you, that's losing him is going to bite us in the, you know what, this year. You'll see. You don't. I'm looking at a pattern, and this is not good. This reminds me when we lost Harbaugh, and we were never the same after that with some certain coaches. And I'm starting to feel this because our defense. What's that?
Switch. Harbaugh's now the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Staley used to be the head coach of the Chargers. What about Staley? You haven't talked to him much about him. Was a good coach with the Rams. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams. If you didn't know, a couple years ago. Right. Head coach horrible. Some defensive coordinators or assistant coaches cannot be head coaches. There's been proven they cannot. But he is a good defensive guy. Any expectations for Staley? I don't think he'll screw it up as bad as back in the Chargers.
You know what? I'll give him a chance. I'm really hurt that they got rid of. I think you reward somebody, even if you lost in the Super Bowl. You had a defense team that was on fire, and then they went and they got some more defensive players, and that's our defense.
You lost by 3 points.
I mean, he's a scapegoat. I'm sorry, and this is not right. This is right. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. This is I'm hurt, but I'll get over it. I'm all for giving opportunities, and I hope and I pray that these guys help the defense out. But I'm gonna miss this guy because it was exciting watching the defense and what they did. So I hope these guys can do it.
Who had a better defense, Wilkes or DeMeco Ryans?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with the I'm gonna have to go with the guy that got us to the Super Bowl.
Wilkes. Ooh, one small minor detail there.
What do you get paid for? What is the result? Getting past the conferences, getting to the Super Bowl, winning games,
hopping Jordan Love.
yeah. Well, hey, but you know what? I do have faith in Lynch. I do believe in Lynch. I think he's a great GM. So we'll see.
He's a defensive. He also is a defensive guy too, right?
Yeah. So
way back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see with with San Francisco. I think they're still favored for the NFC. In my humble opinion, I don't see any other team rising unless the Cowboys does. But you know, right how it is with the Cowboys. Which Jerry Jones was like, we didn't need to sign an extension yet. He's going to hold it off with Dak Prescott.
People think it's just easy to just get a quarterback. It's easy to just change everything. It's not. You were winning. You were winning a lot of home games with Dak. People have short memories. Who are you going to get? Who are you going to get? You better stick with the guy that won some games and just roll with it. Keep the faith. Keep the faith.
Also, is one big quarterback in limbo with their team is Kirk Cousins. I think that's a big name out there. A lot of teams are waiting. What's going to happen? Is he going to re-sign with the Vikings? Is he going to go elsewhere? That's a big one. We have to really keep an eye on. And he's only 34, 35 years old. So
I know. And he's got a beautiful, I saw the show, The Quarterbacks, and he has a beautiful home in Minnesota. He's a good man. They love him in Minnesota.
And he loves Minnesota too. He took off his shirt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If I was Kurt Russell's, I'd just stay. Like, what's up, Lo-Fi? Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming in.
Lo-Fi.
I would. Yeah, I'd stay where I'm at. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
Especially with that house.
Exactly. Exactly. Where are you gonna go? Who you
exactly.
Gonna play? Where are you gonna go? Where would he fit in right now? Where would he fit?
Then you got Justin Fields. If you follow your own team, that's not a good sign. On Instagram, I mean.
No, it's not a good sign. But they also do that. Well, I want contracts. I want money. I'm upset. And then once they do get their money and they do get signed, everything's good. And then they go back and follow. So, but I do think Justin Fields is a great talent.
But in bad organization?
I think he needs to go somewhere. I think he needs to go somewhere. Sometimes change is good, dude. Look at Stafford. Detroit for a long time.
Worked best for LA. Also, Goff worked well up in Detroit.
Yeah. So sometimes change is good, especially when you're around the right coaches. Some people have chemistry, like me and Santiago. Absolutely. Some people don't have good chemistry. Some people can't work with receivers. Some people can't work with the front office. So sometimes change is good.
We'll see what happens. Justin Fields, another big name as well. Rumored to trade to Atlanta, but then I hear Atlanta doesn't want him or does not really that eager to get him. And then you got Caleb Williams. I've been hearing he has attitude issues. He didn't pass the personality test during the combine.
It's his dad. His dad. Look. Let me tell you something. His daddy sitting out here tweeting all that. You're gonna cost your boy millions of dollars. All right. I don't care what he did in college. I don't care. There's a lot of fathers. I think the world of my son. But guess what? Till you get on that NFL pitch and prove yourself first, then you make the money. Because there's been a lot of players that got paid big bucks, and guess what? They were bust. So prove yourself, kid. Prove yourself.
Well, There you have it. Some NFL news, some more exciting news next week when free agency once opens. Let's go into the NBA. Your Warriors had a little bit of a L yesterday.
Man.
Steph Curry injured his troublesome right ankle again. He's having
Yeah.
these issues for most of his career. He wears
Career.
special protection, has good shoes for it, but still gets injured. But it's towards the end of the season. But they pulled the L against the Chicago Bulls. Ray, is this something for us to panic, or we're okay for a couple of days?
What do you mean, Pat? We're at the bottom. we're at the bottom, man. We are right now, folks. My Warriors. We are sitting at what are we sitting at? We're sitting at 10th. What are we at? 10th?
Let me double check. I know you're in the play-in zone, so
no, we're at 9th. We're 9. We're 9. We are 9th place right now, right behind the Mavericks. The Mavericks, which oh my god, dude, Luka, woo! But yeah, I'm worried because we need him. We need to win games. But we also need him to sit out and rest his ankle because we don't want him to do any re-injuries and hurt himself even more. So if he has to take some time to take, it is what it is. It ain't the first time this happened. We've been there before. So yeah. This is just sad. We lost to the Bulls.
The Bulls of all teams, and they're in like the same position as the Warriors, but in the East.
Yes, they're sitting at 9-2. But you know what? Hey, at least we're not eliminated like the San Antonio Spurs.
Wow, they're dead last. And you hear all these stories about Wembyana, the next big thing, the next Tim Duncan. They're last.
Yeah, see, there you go. Look, ain't nobody. It's gonna be a while till somebody steps in Tim Duncan's shoes. All right, okay.
Right, because I spoke about it last night. A friend of mine, he said, "Look, if the Warriors had to face, let's say, Oklahoma in the first round or Minnesota, they could beat them. Might be a long series, but they could beat them.
Yes, we could.
And you can say the same thing for Los Angeles.
Yeah, true. But you know what? But we got to improve our positions, though. I mean, because we got Dallas, we got Sacramento, we got the Suns. We can easily, if we just win some games, get a good streak, and get up to maybe 6th or 5th place. Because really, honestly, man, it's about the seed, and it's about the playing that team in the playoffs. So, yeah.
You don't want the play-in for the Warriors.
What's that?
You don't want the play-in. You want a nice week off. Heal those ankles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, download. Was it load time is good? You got to take some load time and relax, especially with now ankle injuries and ankle injuries can link, like you can re-injure it, because you got to pivot with your foot a lot. So yeah,
no. Even if you have Under Armour sneakers, you can still re-injure.
You know what? This guy, I mean, you can get an Achilles injury very well. You could get a shin. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot because I ran track and I tore my ankles, high, low, shins, knees. I played soccer. I had all kinds of injuries, and I was sidelined it mostly because of my ankles. Because I would just be a hothead and just a speedy recovery and get out there and re-injure the ankles, and now it's really bad.
How was your record in track? Were you pretty fast?
We went to state.
Wow.
Went to state. 100-yard dash, 220. I even pole vaulted, but landed in the bleachers. But that's a whole nother story.
You know that pole vaulting is good for football players. I was hearing.
Yeah, dude. Oh, those are good times.
Have you in high school? Have you ever had like those athletes in high school that have played almost every sport all year? Football, basketball, track, even baseball. Have you seen those type of players?
Yeah, I went to school with J.R. Ryder.
Oh, really?
I went to school with J.R. Ryder, and he got drafted to Minnesota Timberwolves. He was awesome. I mean, seeing him dunk and seeing him play, and and then his brother played baseball, track. It's amazing. And look up Encinal High School in Alameda. We also had a pitcher, D Train. So look at all the players that came out of Encinal High School in Alameda. We got some superstars, and it's amazing to watch these guys. But yeah,
Which state is that? Is that North Carolina?
California.
California.
Yeah.
You also
so
went to high school up in California.
I went.
Right?
I went. So I was a military brat. So we were stationed all over the place. But the last place we were stationed was in Alameda. And then when I turned 18, I said, you know what? When we went back to North Carolina, I actually came back and decided to stay here. So, yeah.
Was there a In-N-Out burger nearby?
There's back then, no, but now, yes, there's an In-N-Out burger. Yes.
Over the West Coast.
Now, Oakland, they're closing that In-N-Out burger.
I saw that. That was nationwide news.
Dude, you got to have a police escort to your car so you can get a burger? You can't even get a burger. Look, you go to your car, your wheels won't be there. You ever seen NASCAR?
Oh yeah.
All four of your wheels will be gone. And you go in and you eat a burger, you come out. Your car will be gone. Yes, it is that bad, folks. It is bad.
If Ray says it, I believe it. So, anyways, there you have it. Also in injury news, Minnesota Timberwolves star Karl Anthony Towns will be revalidated in 4 weeks as he's going to a meniscus surgery, which is pretty serious.
Yeah,
Come back to the early playoffs, May 1st. That's the second round. That's bad for Minnesota. I mean, that is like bad as like losing Steph Curry.
Especially when you're number one on the top. Yeah.
But
it's rest them up. You gotta rest them up.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
It's one of those things. Like you always wonder, you should just, hey, meniscus is pretty serious. Rest them.
Yeah, they gotta go.
Hey, man, you're out for the season, and come back stronger next year.
Some people, it's hard to get championships. It's hard to get there. So they'll do whatever they have to do to get back on the field. But hopefully the trainers and the coaches and stuff like that do the right thing, because you want to have a long career.
Yeah. I remember one player back in the Trailblazers. I forgot his name, but he rushed back into playing, and once he did that, he broke his knee pretty much and never came back.
Yeah.
So, and he was like in his early to mid 20s. So
you are an investor. So you got to think long term. And even owners, when they give you so much money, they don't want their players to get hurt, because you're part of their brand and everything. So, hey, it is what it is. Next man up, and we'll just see what next year will be. But yeah, it's sad. And I'm a Warriors fan, but to see somebody like that, you want to see these guys play one another. So I hope it works.
By the way, Adam Silver was in San Francisco, and he was trying to get things going with the women's team for the NBA.
Yep.
NBA, no, the Golden State Warriors. I don't know what the name will be.
They're going to be at the Chase Center in San Francisco, so I'm excited about that. I used to love watching women basketball at high school. Was awesome, and watching the women's NBA and watching college. Man, they're great. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to watch some games when they come out.
Have you seen Caitlin Clark? She might go to San Francisco. That might be a possibility because don't like the first franchise teams get like the first picks, I think.
Yeah, they do. Unless they
There you
do
go.
trades and stuff. But she's
Perfect
a
timing.
she will sell tickets. She will put butts in the seat. She's a brand.
She beat
Her
Pistol Pete's
jersey,
record.
her jersey will be number one. It'll be the women's NBA number one, number one. And she's a role model to all young girls and boys. And yeah, I hope she comes out here.
Well, there you have it. Before we go, I want to show these renderings of Oakland A's visiting Las
Oh
Vegas.
my God, no!
I don't know if this is 3D, but
you be capping. We don't want to see
look,
that.
Las Vegas has the best stadiums for some reason.
Man. Oh.
I don't know what's gonna happen. It is what it is. In-N-Out. First was the A's, now In-N-Out Burger. Hey man, gotta give credit to Las Vegas.
I wanted to add something too, man. We lost a wonderful sports journalist, Chris Mortensen.
That's right.
My heart, man. I used to get up in the morning and watch him and Adam give the NFL reports and stuff like that. And then when I heard that he passed away, man, I was just like so sad. So my heart and prayers go out to his family and all his colleagues.
Yeah, Chris Mortensen, he was the pre-era of Adam Schefter, breaking news, knows the inside of NFL stories, NFL stories, free agency. And I was listening to a few podcasts this past week, and he would hire like 100 journalists all across the country, and they will give him like small snippets, like, okay, this is what I've heard or whatever, and then he will publish it on Sports Illustrated or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he also hired Adam Schefter. Like he saw talent in him.
Yes. And started in 1969. I think he joined ESPN in 1991. And like fantasy football, I used to get up every morning and look for the Mort report. And I would like, okay, and do my lineups and stuff. And then just the trades and acquisitions and stuff. So, man, it's just like just real sad. But
real sad. Also, Peter King retired. There's also a big NFL insider as well. So
yes.
Now we're stuck with Schefter and some small NFL reporters. Ian Rappaport is pretty good.
Yes.
But these guys get paid a lot now. These insiders.
Sports is people want to know what's going on inside.
Well, there you have it. Sports news, NBA, NFL news, of course, and coming up, obviously, the playoffs in a couple of weeks in April. We got March Madness. You'll be a Stanford fan, aren't you?
Of course, I love Stanford. Love the Cal Bears. But I would probably say more of a Stanford. But look, I also like my Tar Heels too.
That's right, North Carolina.
I got love. Exactly. I got love for a lot of teams, but out here it's Stanford.
Well, there you have it. I'm a UM fan. I like Liberty as well as my former school alma mater. So we'll see what happens in March Madness. Anything crazy. But anyways, before we go, Ray, what is the best way to reach you online to ask you, hey, should the Niners get anyone else in the offseason?
Ray Sherrod /Ray3473. I am the gaming sideboard. You can get me on x.com. I also, if you look in the back, I stream video games. I talk sports with Santiago, and I'm Ray3473 on Twitch. But just hit me up in my DMs. Love to talk sports. Love to talk gaming.
He's very reachable. By the way, I would you be a MetaQuest guy or Apple Vision Pro guy, or you're not into that stuff, virtual reality?
You know what? I'm into everything, folks. If you look, I like everything. So if it's gaming, I like having options. And yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm Ray's all tech guy.
I'm all tech.
All game, all the way from what was the first video game system? I forgot it. Anyways, sticking Super Genesis to PlayStation 5.
Pong. That's how old I am, folks.
Pong. Yeah, exactly. And it all kind of started in that area, by the way, the tech sector of the country. Anyways, you can reach us at thesportscast.net or the Sportscast1. We'll be eyeing Russell Wilson. Victor Rocha likes Russell Wilson in The Giants. So definitely stay into the show, which is every
Go to Giants,
Thursday,
Wilson.
8 p.m.
Go to Giants.
And then on Wednesday night, we got Alan West on the top 25 rundown. All this SC won last night. Well, no, they equalized last night with Nashville, so we'll see what happens in the CONCACAF. Anyways, Ray, always a pleasure. I'll see you in a couple weeks, I guess.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And this was your